Hi friends, I'm excited to share with you today a pattern I designed for an adorable little crochet whale. It's a no-sew pattern that works up super quickly, and it'd be the perfect size to go on a keychain, and a claw machine, or even just alone as a little stress toy. It'd be adorable in a bunch of different colors. I made this one in blue to keep true to the whale theme. And I'll crochet it along with you in a second here. Feel free to speed up or slow down the video so you can crochet along with me. If you're new to my videos, welcome, I'm Danielle. On my channel, I share knitting and crochet, tips, tutorials, patterns, and vlogs. Like and subscribe to see more of my videos. Alright, so starting with the materials we need to make these little adorable whale plushies. Starting with a yarn, we have a Premier Parfait Chunky yarn. It is a weight 6 super bulky polyester yarn, and the recommended hook size for this one is 8mm. In order to get tighter stitches, I like to size down my hook quite a lot, so even though it says 8, I'm going with a 4mm. It is a thinner chenille yarn, and I do like it a bit tighter. So I've seen some people use 5mm with this yarn. I prefer 4mm. I could go either way, honestly. And I also use the yarn under, yarn over single crochet method to also get a bit of a tighter stitch. You can check out other videos for that technique, or I'll make a video soon if you guys want. Comment below if you think that'd be helpful. So we've got blue and we've got white in the Premier Parfait Chunky, and we've got our crochet hook. This is the Tulip Edimo, I think is what it's called, the red one. And I'll put links for all of these materials in the description as well, so you can check that out. We use Fiskars for cutting. These are my preferred scissors. They're really nice. And also portable. You can slide it up for protection on the go. Really nice. We've got a bent tip darning needle for sewing up our piece by Clover. We've got a stitch marker. This is a lever back stitch marker. I prefer this style to the lobster clasp because the lobster sometimes hurts underneath the nail a bit, and I find these give a bit more room. They're great for knitting and crocheting, so this is my preferred stitch marker. This is from SimplyServing. They do awesome clay stitch markers. Their Etsy is great, and they've got a lot of options. I'm sorry, I bumped you. So go ahead and check them out too. I highly recommend their shop. And we've got also safety eyes. These are plastic safety eyes just from Amazon. They are 8mm, and you can size it. All of this is, size dependent. You can pick a different yarn, pick a different hook, and pick a different eye size. It's all totally up to you. You'll get a different results, that's all. And the sizing will be a little bit different. But so we're using 8mm eye, 4mm hook, and a Premier Parfait Chunky for this right now. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll clear this off and get set up. Alright, so I've left the whales there for moral support. They can help cheer us on as we're crocheting. So we're going to be crocheting them starting from the top going down to the bottom. And so we're going to start in blue. And the way we start is a magic ring. So to start, we're going to start with the yarn tail facing us, bring it around. And this is just how I like to do my magic ring. Tension it. And then we're going to go under, grab, twist, and chain to secure. That's just how I like to do my magic ring. And the first row is just 6 single crochet in the magic ring. So we'll go ahead and do that. 1 single crochet. And for those who don't, I'll do the first single crochet slower so you can see it a little bit easier. Feel free, like I said, to slow down the video if you need to, or speed it up as we're going along. So we're going over both tails for the magic ring. So it's 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3. And at this point, I prefer to start closing my ring just a little bit. Sometimes the chenille can get caught if you have too many stitches. This yarn isn't too bad, but other brands can get caught and shed a lot. And then you have to destroy your whole magic ring. It's a big of an issue. So we did 3 single crochet. Our ring is a little bit closer now. And we're going to do the remaining 3 single crochet to do the 6 total in the magic ring. So that's 4, 5, and 6. So we've got 6 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to go ahead and close the ring. You can place your stitch marker if you'd like. I normally don't on the first row, but because I'm talking, it's a bit more difficult to count while I'm going. So we're just going to place that. And that's the first row already there. And the next row, row 2, is an increase in every stitch. So we're going to do a single crochet increase in every stitch. there are 6 stitches that we ended with, so that'll be 6 increase stitches for a total of 12 as we finish this next row. So the first stitch is going to be right there, and an increase is just 2 single crochets in that same spot. So that's 1 increase or 2 single crochets. Next spot, single crochet, that's our second increase. Third, single crochet, increase. 4, 5, and take that out for a second, 6. All right, so that was 6 single crochet increases. We've got 12 stitches now around as we finish row 2. Place that back again. So round 3 is a single crochet increase repeated. So we're going to do a single crochet like in the previous round, single crochet, and we're going to do an increase. All right, so that's 1 time, and we're just going to keep repeating that around. So another single crochet, and then an increase, another single crochet, and an increase. That'd be the third repeat. Another single crochet, and an increase. That's 4. Another single crochet, another increase for 5, and the final 6 is a single crochet and an increase again. All right, take that out. And that was the end of row 3. We've got 18 stitches finishing that row. Sorry, I keep bumping you guys. So row 4 is 18 single crochet around, just straight. So we can go ahead and do that. Great, so that was 18 single crochets for round 4. Now round 5, we're going to do the side fins, which are bobble stitches. They are a 4 double crochet bobble. So I'll go ahead and show that, and it's in the front loop. So we'll just go ahead and do that together, no worries. We're going to start with 2 single crochet, and then we reach the first of the fins. So we're going to do front loop only. So front loop, back loop. So we're going to do only the front loop. Whoops, pull through there. So we're only in the front loop right now. But before we're going to do that, we're going to start the double crochet, the partial double crochets. So wrap, pull through, and that's 1 partial double crochet. We're going to do a few more, 2, 3, and 4. Be careful, you're only going through the last 2 loops. So we've got 4 partial double crochets right now on our hook and the stitch previous. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 loops, and now we're going to close it, finish the bobble stitch by pulling through all of them. So you see it makes a nice little curve, and again, this is the back loop, so we're only doing that into the front loop. Great, so then we're going to do 7 single crochet, pull it nice and tight. That's 1 single crochet. Your bobble stitch should be popping out like this. You can pop it from the other side, push it outwards if it's for some reason concave, or I don't know, concave versus, if it's popped in rather than popped out, you know what I mean. Make sure it's facing out. So That was 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we're going to do the next fin. So it's the same exact thing, front loop only, and 4 partial double crochet bobble stitch. So wrap it around, front loop only, pull through, there's 1, go again, pull through the last 2 loops only, that's 2, go through the same spot, 3, and the same spot again, 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the last stitch previously, and then we're going to pull through all of them to complete the bobble stitch. And then we're just going to single crochet to the end to finish. So pull that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Perfect. And we don't have to worry about being centered in the body right now for this, because we're going to be doing this tail. The tail goes afterwards, surface crochet. So it is perfectly fine to be off center. We're just going to be doing some decreases and color change. So, but before that, we're going to do the final row of blue. So we're going to just single crochet around. It'll be 18 still. So we got 1, 2, and make sure you're crocheting through the correct part of the bobble stitch. So we're going to pull it down a little bit. You see there's the next stitch there and the following stitch there. So we're going to go in there, 3 and 4. Continue as usual, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pull it down a little bit. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, so that's 18 stitches, and actually we're not going to finish that last single crochet. Let me pull that back out because we're going to do our color change right now. So you're going to end with an incomplete single crochet. We're going to take off the stitch marker, and we're going to cut the blue yarn with a little bit of a tail so we can secure them together, and then we're going to grab the white yarn. So we're going to complete that single crochet with the white. Pull that through. Make sure you have a decent tail for both of them, and we're going to knot them together to secure them. And then we can just tuck all the tails, start tucking them away. They'll just be filling out the inside with the stuffing later on. And at this point, we'll also just go ahead and attach our safety eyes. So we're going to be using, again, the 8mm here. And we're going to attach them between rows 4 and 5 with around 2 stitches between them. So counting down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So between 4 and 5 will be right here, and 2 stitches between. So we're going to just kind of place them and then guess around a little bit and see how we like their placement. Just try to keep it even around the center. So, and that looks about right to me. It's even relative to the fins and relative to the center. So since I like that placement, we're just going to go ahead and secure the safety eyes with the plastic backings. We're going to make sure that the dome goes down, and we're going to snap them on. So you see how there's a ridge there. We're going to make sure it pops over top of the ridge, and I'm going to put it onto the desk to make sure I can pop it securely. So you might have heard the pop there. And we'll do the second one as well. So just to demonstrate, this is not secured, and this is secured. I did not secure this one yet. So you see the ridge, it popped over top of the ridge. So we're going to pop this one on as well. All right. And you should not be able to pull them out. This looks pretty good to me. Okay, so we're going to, now that we secured the safety eyes, we can do the white row, the start of the belly. So we're going to start the decreases here. We're going to do single crochet, decrease around, and repeat. And we could attach the stitch marker if you'd like to. I'm not going to bother just because it's pretty clear where the color change happened, and we know that's the start of the row. So we're going to start with the single crochet. So single crochet, we know how to do that. And then the decrease is, I like to use a single crochet invisible decrease. So we're going to go through the next 2 stitches. We're going to do the front loop only. So pull through the front only of that one. And also continue to go through the front of the next one. So we've got the 2 next stitches front loops, and we've got the white color change still. So go ahead and wrap and finish the crochet, and that's our decrease. So we've got a single crochet and then our decrease. So go ahead and do the next, and the next stitch is right here because we did these two are part of the decrease. You can see it's pulled up here. So we're going to do single crochet and decrease again, front loops. Show that again. Front loop and front loop, decrease. Okay, so that's the second. Single crochet, decrease, that'll be 3, single crochet, decrease 4, single crochet, decrease 5, and single crochet, decrease 6. So that's the first round of the belly, all decreases. And at this point, I'll just attach this stitch marker so we don't lose our spot. And we can start stuffing here, and we'll finish stuffing after the next row. So we're going to take our, put some stuff in here. Take our stuffing. And for bigger plushies, I usually recommend stuffing around the perimeter and then stuffing through the middle. But because this guy is so small, I'm just going to kind of stuff him around. I do like to rotate it to make sure it's stuffed pretty evenly as you go. And just stuff it to your preference. You can stuff it lighter if you don't like it as firm, if you like a little bit more of a squish to your plush. I like to stuff mine pretty firmly, so I'm just going to pack that in there. Looks pretty good. It's popping out of it, so I'm going to push it down as I crochet this next row, but that seems like a good start to me. So now that we finished the first bit of plush stuffing, we can do the next row, which is row 8, which is 6 decrease. So again, the single crochet decrease is around, grab those 2, that'll be 1. Next 2, 2. And I'm just pushing it down with my middle finger. 3. And pinching on this side to keep it secure. Oops. And 5. And I'm going to take this guy off now again. And we're going to do 6. If I can grab it. There we go. Oh my gosh. 6. Okay. Whew. All right, so we're going to stuff a little bit more at this point because I'm going to want him a little bit firmer. So just a teeny bit more. And I'm going to use the back of my crochet hook just to work it around the gaps a little bit, because at this point the hole is a bit small to stuff around easily with my fingers. But the back of the hook makes a great tool for this. So, and because we did size down the hook and we're using the yarn under, yarn over technique, You don't see any stuffing through, even though I've stuffed it pretty firmly. So I'm happy with that stuffing. That looks pretty nice to me. And so we can go ahead and cut this white yarn and sew him up. So we're going to pull that through. So we've got no more loop. I'm going to take our sewing needle, thread that, and we're going to do the front loops only of the plushie to sew him up. So we've got it's a bit tougher to see because of the stuffing at this point, but you see we got the back loop here, the front loop here. So we're going to do front loop only. Go through there, pull him tight. That's one. Two, three, four, five, and six. There's a little bit of shedding, that's all right. It is Chanel yarn. And we're going to go ahead and secure this. So I'm just going to thread it around a couple of times to make sure it doesn't pop out. Just take off any bits of shed Chanel. We're going to, when we're going around, make sure you're going over and under a stitch. So you see I popped out of this hole here, right here. I'm going to make sure to skip at least this part. I'm going to skip a couple just because there's a little bit of a hole there. So and just do this as many times as you'd like. I think about 4 seems to work here. That looks good to me. And we're going to cut the yarn with a little bit of a tail. Take that off. And we can use the back of this to push the last bit of the tail into the plushie. And so we're going to push it back in the same hole that is popped out of. So we're going to gently try to find that hole. Cool. So that's tucked away. Can't see the tail anymore. And he's almost done. He looks done from this view, doesn't he? But he needs a tail. He's missing his tail. So we can go ahead and grab, put that off to the side, grab the blue yarn again to put his tail on. And the tail, put that off to the side. And we don't need the stitch marker anymore either. So we really only need the hook, the scissors, and the needle still. So we're going to place the tail. It's going to be crochet the same row between rows 4 and 5 as the eyes. And you could place yours a little bit lower if you'd like, all just based on preference, really. So because I'm going to do mine between 4 and 5, we're going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we want it a little bit off center. So I'm going to do mine, let's see. Actually, here seems pretty good. So that's a little bit off center from the eyes, you can see. So we're going to go ahead and start there. Attach the yarn to the hook, pull it through, and chain to secure it to the plushie. And then we're just going to do a single crochet, half double crochet, and a slip stitch all into the same stitch. So we know the single crochet, we've done that one, all into the same stitch again. So go back through, single crochet, half double crochet, we're going to wrap, back in the same stitch, pull up a loop, and then pull through all 3 of these loops on the hook. So that's the half double crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch as well. Just going to use my fingers to pull that through. That's our slip stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch to start the second part of the tail. So that's one part of the tail. Oh, actually, did I go too low again? Take that off. Yeah, that was a bit too low. So we're meant to be up here. Slip stitch to here. And we're going to chain to secure Let's see, does that look right? Yeah, that looks like the appropriate height again. Okay, great. So continuing, single crochet, half double crochet, and slip stitch. So single crochet, half double crochet, and slip stitch. And that'll be the last part of the tail. So we can go ahead and cut this as well. And I would just have to sew that up and we'll be done. So we're going to attach the last remaining tail piece. I'm going to go back through where we completed the single crochet, or sorry, the slip stitch rather. And I'm just going to pop out the top here, not too close to the front, but you know, close enough to the other tail that we can thread this next one through. I'm going to thread this. We're going to go back in the stitch we started from over here and pop out the same stitch that we threaded the other tail through. So those little bubble tails looking quite cute. So these are coming out of the same hole now. We're going to just knot them together to secure. And I'm going to thread this back on. And we're going to go back down into that same hole and pop out somewhere else just to pull the knot through into the body. Whoops. And we can go ahead and cut those. And we're going to pull those tails into the body as well. So stuff those back in, the same as we did when we finished. So those are stuffed in. And you could actually also use those tails to secure, if you wanted to do the keychain, depending on what kind of keychain you're doing, secure the keychain to the top, loop through that a couple of times before you close it off. But yeah, this is our adorable little mini whale, and I hope you enjoyed the pattern. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing so you can see more of the patterns I'm making, both knitting and crocheting, and I hope you enjoy your little whale buddy.